Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you
I'm glad
doing?
to see you.
I'm glad to see you too.
My friends, we're in a great mood today, I would say, and um, I think the good topic for today that I find so profound
Mm-hmm.
is actually I figured out when I was having my usual walk. You know, here we have a pond, and then there is a fall where the water goes down to a small river. And that fall has a small step before water eventually goes down to the river. And sometimes a bit of water gets trapped into this step and cannot get out because the water that is coming up from the pond blocks it from falling down.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time in my life, I found myself in that state of water.
Okay.
I found myself in that transition, but where I don't move, where I am stuck. I roll around, but nothing happens eventually. I don't take that step. And I thought that's a beautiful sign from nature that kind of tells me, well, you have to get through that water that is coming up, the new one that is, ready to jump and get in there. Be brave. That's very interesting. What do you think, my friend, about it?
Well, my friend, always with your interesting topics. I love every topic we talk about. And the first thing that I notice and that also catches a lot of my attention is water. So, yeah, we can see it when water is stuck, when water doesn't flow, that still water is bad water. It's not.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great point.
It is not. We cannot consume that water because it is standard water. So it has a bunch of bacteria, a bunch of bad things. But when the water is flowing through the fall, through
It's
the
pure.
river, it's pure, it's drinkable, it has all these incredible components. So that's life also. When you're stuck, when you're not moving, when you're in your comfort zone, when you're just living, existing without progress, without flow, you're not going anywhere and you're stuck and you're just having these bacteria, having these bad things that are gonna consume you. They're not gonna help you. But when you start moving towards a goal, moving towards something more, when you start flowing with life, then you become pure, you become drinkable. So it's really
in a
interesting.
sense, yeah. Wow, that's something I didn't really think about. That's a great point. But what do you think about the fact that, well, when this water is trapped on that step, there is also the new water that comes and falls over it and kind of doesn't let it be released? How do you deal with that? What is that in life? How does it, what is this that stops that water to shine in a sense?
Yeah, that's also interesting because as everything in life, there is there's perfection, but nothing will happen the way we want it to happen. So always there are gonna be parts like traumas in our lives that are gonna be stuck in our minds. Always there are gonna be things that are deeply rooted in our subconscious mind, but there is also a possibility where you can change and where you can put that water into flow. And how
where you need to get through it, right?
Exactly.
In some sense, to have a greater force inside of you,
Exactly.
to like break through it.
Exactly.
Right. It's like it kind of a shield in front of you, but also compresses. It also brings you into this, small space, and doesn't let you release all your potential, all that necessary potential
Yeah.
that you cannot, hide in yourself,
Yeah.
or otherwise you die pretty much.
Yeah. That's incredible. And I think that, yeah, for us to unlock this potential, to put that water, that is stuck water, into flow, I think that one of the keys is consciousness. And consciousness in a way that we tend to live in our subconscious mind. I think, I don't remember the percentage, but a lot of things that we do day by day, a massive amount of things are rooted in the subconscious mind.
Of course.
So if we bring these traumas into conscious, if we bring all that things that are stuck in our mind, unconsciously observe them, unconsciously detect all the things that are limiting us, then we can change. So I like to
be able to process it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So it's like the water that is coming up, we need to kind of pull inside. That is like, doesn't let us go. We need to pull it inside, and it will push us out. That's beautiful. The way you phrased it, That's great. That's the essence, that right there.
That's the essence. Yeah.
And in a sense, if we don't do it, well, that's a crime. That's a crime against ourselves. That's a crime against our own potential, our own abilities. And there is no way we can allow that to happen. My friend, we can't.
We can't. But as always, and as nature always pretend to take control of us, many people just lived stuck in a state of non-movement, in a state of calm where there's no movement of water, and they just die there. But if we can start flowing, if we can get that water to move, then our soul can learn from all those experiences and can really have an impact in this world.
What do you think that doesn't allow so many people to change their, state of flow, and what can we do, or what can the person who deeply cares about them do to help? How can we, somewhat boost or support someone's effort to eventually let it flow?
Yeah, I think, and I'm gonna repeat it maybe, but I think that's consciousness. If we live just flowing with what we think is true, If we live like that, we're just gonna live. We're not gonna change.
Yeah, but if we want to help someone else who maybe put effort but don't really know and cannot phrase what they want to do, how can we support them in this effort?
Okay. Well, that's an interesting question. And I think that the first step is also helping them flow, helping them flow with their life, flow with their passions, flow with their efforts. And I think one step to flow is change. So sometimes when we don't feel either fulfilled with what we do, if we're doing a great effort, if we're doing all the things, it's because we have a perspective of a thing that we do, but it's a wrong perspective. So we have to change the perception of the things we do so that this flow comes into your life. That's my perspective. What would you do?
Am I right that you, in a sense, say that we need to expose them to a new experience for the sake of them learning more about themselves and at the same time being able to start that flow? Is that something you would advocate for?
Extremely yes, obviously.
Exactly. And that's something I find so important as well. But also many people kind of are able to come to that step, and then they might find that their new experience is not good, or that their new experience is they experience failure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where and when, if we're careful enough, we can provide that word of compassion. And that's, I think, even a greater problem, that so many people are left without that word of compassion, that would, in a hard time of failure in their new experience, this word of compassion would actually save them from coming back to their state where there is no flow, and would leave them room for new opportunities, new experiences, and they wouldn't be afraid because they know there is someone who got their back.
Yeah, that's
and that's I think, you know, my friends, I am sure that you have been able to, you know, go with the flow. But if you feel that you are not, or that people around you are not, provide for them that careful word of compassion that is, in the time of failure, very important. That, you know, tell them that they're capable of something. Tell them that they will succeed, and that they shouldn't give up.
Wow.
And they will be able to flow.
Wow, that's incredible, David. Yeah, my friend. So today we learned about this state of flow that brings us life, that we develop this by the paradox of water, of how can water flow and have life, or it can be stuck and be dead, and how it can develop that, how we can develop that stuff in our life. We also understood how we as persons can be this first step towards the flow of a people, how we can be that voice of compassion for helping people become enter to flow, enter to the flow state, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you, my friend.
Incredible, my friend.